If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps us keep bringing you stories that reach deep into the heart. Stories that remind us how fragile love can be and how powerful truth can feel. When you finally face it, they say life can change in the blink of an eye. But what they don't tell you is it doesn't always take a car crash or thunder or something that makes the world stop spinning. Sometimes change comes quietly through a whisper, a hesitation, a sound that doesn't fit the silence. That's how my life changed. Not with chaos, not with screaming, but with a small sound that I almost ignored. Almost. From the outside, our house looked like something out of a magazine. The paint was fresh, the lawn trimmed, the curtains white and spotless. Neighbors would smile and say, "You two are the perfect couple." And I used to smile back, pretending I believed it. But perfection has a way of hiding what's rotten underneath. Inside those bright walls, silence had built its nest. Heavy, suffocating, endless. Not the kind of silence that brings peace. The kind that presses against your chest until even your heartbeat feels too loud. Birthdays were celebrated with polite smiles. Anniversaries were marked by quiet dinners. Two people sitting across from each other, pretending they hadn't already drifted galaxies apart. He, my husband, used to look at me like I was the center of his world. Now his eyes just passed through me as if I were a stranger who'd wandered into his home. We shared the same bed, the same roof, the same routine, but our souls no longer touched. If you've ever felt that kind of silence, the one that speaks louder than words, then you'll understand what this story is about. And if you do, make sure to subscribe because this one's for anyone who's ever loved in silence and learned the hard way. That sometimes silence can be the cruelest sound of all. That tea was an ordinary Tuesday morning, the kind that passes unnoticed. Coffee brewing, sunlight slipping through the curtains, the faint hum of the city outside. Everything felt calm, normal until I heard it. A faint rhythmic sound coming from upstairs. Soft, steady, deliberate. At first, I thought it was nothing. Maybe the wind, maybe my imagination. But something about it made my heart stutter because I knew that sound didn't belong. Not in that house. Not at that time. My hand froze mad, the spoon trembling in the cup. Logic whispered, "Ignore it." But my heart was already racing up the stairs before my mind could catch up. Each step felt heavier than the last. The silence between those beats grew sharper. When I reached the top, I saw the door slightly open. Just a crack of light spilling into the hallway. I stood there, my fingers hovering over the knob. Every instinct screamed to walk away, but I didn't. The door creaked open, and there it was. The glow of a screen, illuminating his face. My husband, the man who once swore he'd never hurt me. His expression was soft, too soft, as his fingers danced across the keyboard. Words flowed from him effortlessly like he'd rehearsed them 1,000 times. And then I saw it, the message on the screen. Words raw, intimate, written for someone else. "You make me feel alive again." Alive. That word sliced through me like glass. Because it had been so long since he'd said that to me. He looked up. Our eyes met. And in that one glance, everything we had, every memory, every promise, shattered. We didn't speak. We didn't have to because sometimes silence screams louder than any words ever could. That night, we sat across from each other at the table pretending to eat. The clink of the fork against the plate was the only sound in the room. He looked down. I stared at him. There was so much I wanted to say. So much. I wanted to scream. But I couldn't because anger didn't even feel right anymore. Only emptiness did. The man across from me was still my husband, but he wasn't mine anymore. Whatever love had once connected us had turned to glass, sharp, fragile, and already broken. After that night, time lost meaning. Days folded into each other, each one feeling heavier than the last. Every sound became a memory, every glance a reminder. I'd catch him looking at his phone and feel the ache rise again. I'd wake up at 2 a.m., the side of the bed cold, and wonder if this was really my life now. A story of two people pretending to still be in love. I told myself to stay strong, but strength feels different when you're fighting alone. There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream. It sits quietly waiting for you to break on your own. If you've ever been there, if you've ever loved someone who forgot how to see you, then you'll understand why I stayed silent for so long. Friday came. Same house, same silence, same faint rhythm from upstairs. But this time, I didn't freeze. I didn't hesitate. I climbed those stairs like someone chasing the truth. The door opened, and there he was again. The same glow, the same guilt that flickered across his face like lightning. This time I didn't hold back. Why? I asked. My voice shook, but it was steady enough to cut through the air. Why am I not enough? He looked at me, stammered. It doesn't mean anything, but it did. It meant everything. You chose silence over me, I whispered. And in that moment, something inside me finally broke. Not from pain, but from clarity. Because I realized the truth. Our love hadn't died that night. It had been dying for years slowly, quietly, and I had been too afraid to hear its last breath. The next morning, the sun rose like it always did, but it felt different. I packed a small bag. No gelling, no screaming, no, just quiet steps one after another until I reached the door. And when I closed it behind me, the silence that used to suffocate me finally felt like air. It hurt. Yes, but beneath the ache, there was peace. Because for the first time in a long time, I had chosen myself. People think strength means holding on, but sometimes real strength is in the letting go. It's in walking away from a house that looks perfect but feels hollow. It's in choosing peace over pain. It's in saying this isn't love anymore. Even when it breaks your heart to admit it. Silence had taken so much from me. But in the end, it gave me something back. The courage to listen to myself again. So if you've ever had to walk away from something that once meant everything, remember this. You're not alone. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. And if this story found you when you needed it most, hit that subscribe button because your story matters too. And maybe next time it'll be your voice that helps someone else finally listen to their own. Thank you for watching. Stay till the end and share your thoughts below. Your stories are what keep this channel alive. Remember, sometimes the smallest sound can change everything. And sometimes silence is the start of freedom.